So today I'm going to briefly show you how to learn a proper hip hinging technique. Now, hip hinging is the art of breaking at the hips while maintaining proper back posture. So if we look at my side view here, when I hip hinge, I want to shift my weight back and break at my hips while still maintaining a nice neutral or slightly arched back. What you don't want to see is this rounded back, which means that none of my posterior chain is firing and eventually will lead to injury if you're going to weight that movement. So learning a hip hinge is really simple. You're going to start by taking your feet underneath your hips. You can go slightly wider depending on what you're doing. But for the time being, we are just going to learn a nice neutral position. Keep your toes mostly face forward and keep your shoulders rolled back. So you just don't want to be rounded forward in this movement. You want to have a nice extension through your thoracic or your upper back. From this movement, I want you to slightly bend your knees. I want you to focus on moving just at your hips. So if I told you to squat, you would flex your knees, your hips also. But that's not what I want you to do. I want you to think of moving at your hips and sticking out your bum. So if there is a wall behind you, you're thinking of doing bum taps. So I'm sinking all of my weight backwards, the weight's in my heels, and I can feel a nice hamstring stretch, and then I'm coming forward. The few biggest mistakes that people make are as they come down, they start to squat, so they start to bend their knees, or they start to round their back. So as we come down, people naturally cave their upper back. You want to make sure that you stay nice and neutral and lengthened through your entire torso. So again, from the side, you are sinking the weight backwards, coming all the way forward. So you should feel a tension throughout the back of your legs as you sink the weight backwards, and then contraction as you come forwards. There's a couple of things you can do at home to practice and to learn. So if you have dowel or PVC pipe, that works beautifully. And the first one is to place the dowel directly in your hips, and you want to think about curling your body around that. So pressing the dowel into your hips, you want to curl your body around the dowel, thus lengthening out and thrust it forward. The other thing you can do with the dowel is actually place it on your back, and this is going to teach you to keep all points in contact. So if you notice, on my back, the dowel is touching my head, my upper back, and my tailbone. So 3 separate areas that all need to maintain connection throughout the movement. So as I come down, the dowel should maintain contact with all of those 3 points and come up. That technique is actually perfect when you're just starting out, because the second the dowel, your body comes off of the dowel or vice versa, that's when you know that something has gone wrong and you're no longer using proper form. So again, just pressing the dowel lightly into the back of the head, the upper back, and the tailbone, you are going to hinge and then drive it forward. So if I messed up my form here, chances are my head would come off, thus my tailbone coming off also. You really want to flatten that back and come out. Learning with the dowel is perfect, and once you get feeling comfortable with that, you can take the dowel away and you're just going to do body weight good mornings Romanian deadlift. So you can place your arms across your chest, on the back of your ears, or behind your back, depending on your level of your ability. So I'm just going to place mine on my chest for now. So again, I'm keeping my chest up, I'm hinging down, putting the weight to the back of the legs, and then coming back up. So if I were to perform this with a crate, for example, if I'm swinging with my daughter, this is what it should look like. I'm going to use a kettlebell just to show you. Remember that you are aiming to hinge from the hips and keep a nice flat back so that all the power comes from your legs, your hamstrings and your glutes, and not your low back. Okay, so where people go wrong is they tend to do this. Okay, and what happens with that is all the weight is moving through your shoulders and none of your muscles are firing. So that's going to lead to injury. So again, keeping your nice flat back, you're going to sink the weight backwards and thrust use the hips. Okay? So hopefully that gives you a little bit more of an idea of how to hip hinge and how to do it properly so that you reduce your risk of injury and really reap the benefits of everything hip hinging has to offer. Stronger legs, stronger hips, a better back, and the ability to play with your kids.